I promised myself that I would not make any more laser videos, but when the MECPOW X5 came across my desk, I absolutely could not turn it down, and if you watch this video, you'll see why. Let's make something cool. Now, before we begin, I want to make something perfectly clear, and that this is not a sponsored video. MECPOW did send me this machine for free in exchange for an honest review, and even though MECPOW is providing 2 coupon codes for you guys at the end of the video, I am not receiving any kind of commission from MECPOW off the sales of this machine. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Now, on a daily basis, I receive at least 1 to 2 emails every day from different laser companies asking me to review their machines, and I turn every single one of them down. The reason why I couldn't pass on this particular machine, I was extremely intrigued about all the features that came with this machine for this price point. So that's the reason why I wanted to accept this. But you are definitely getting the most bang for your buck with the X5, and I honestly think that this is the best budget laser out there right now. Now, I'm not going to bore you with a box opening. Just in case you are wondering, this is what the box looks like, and this is what you'll receive in the mail if you order one of these machines. And I'm also not going to bore you with assembling the machine, but I do want to tell you that assembling the machine was very easy in comparison to some of the other machines that I've put together in the past. Took me about a half hour to assemble the entire thing, and very quickly, I would have to say within 10 minutes, I was up and running and making a very simple burn. So this is it. This is the X5. But before I talk about how big it is, and by the way, it is huge. In fact, it is so large I can actually fit my old laser within the workspace. Not bad. But before we get into any of that, I want to kind of show you around. Come over here. So this is the control board. This is where everything is that you really need to get your hands on. You got the 24-volt power, the USB hookup to your laptop, alarm light, the emergency stop button, and the on-off switch. And of course, it comes with a security lock key, the reset button. Also, here is your hookup to go to the air assist. Back here on the other side, there's actually a switch to turn on the fire sensor. So if you have a fire going on, this sensor will catch it and it will turn the machine off. And I thought this was really cool is that they have several other ports for when you want to add things on or when you want to upgrade later, like another port for an exhaust fan or a safety door sensor port, which I thought was really cool. There's even a port up top here for a screen if you wanted to hook up a monitor or a screen to this. And there's also a slot for your SD card. But real quick, something that I think that is really worth mentioning is the construction. Very beefy railings. I don't feel like I'm going to break this thing just by simply moving it around. Another feature that I love that this machine simply comes with is very tall feet. You might not think that that's a big deal, but if I'm running some thicker material, I don't have to prop this whole machine up just to be able to get the workspace I need to do a simple engraving. But operating the machine it's very simple. Turn the machine on, hook it up to your computer through a USB cable, start your laser software, and home it out. Now the laptop and the machine are communicating. Then place your workpiece in the center of the work area, set up your power and your speeds, and then I very gingerly bring the laser head over to my project, put the focusing foot down, adjust the laser head so that the foot is touching the top of the project. Don't forget to put the focusing foot back up. Some people learn things the hard way. I'm going to hit home. I'm going to hit frame to make sure that my piece is where it needs to be. It's off a little bit, so I'm going to readjust. Try it again. That looks really good. Safety goggles on, and hit start. And just like that, you have a really awesome engraving. I was able to get, I think it was like a 1/16 of an inch deep on this particular engraving, and I did it in half the time that, say, a 10-watt laser would be able to do. Now, I did give this a light sanding, but it still came out very clean, which is what I like, which is the next feature that I was very excited about, which really caught my eye on this particular machine, which was this laser comes with air assist. Now, all the lasers out there have air assist available, but this one actually comes with it. You don't have to buy it separately, and I found that very, very helpful because these could be $100 to $200 on their own alone, and I don't want to spend money on this expensive machine and then have to buy an air pump afterwards if I want to utilize what this machine does. Again, you can see the difference. This one did not have air assist on. This one did have air assist on. You can see a clear difference between the two. This one's very smoky and this one's very sharp. So I think that not only having air assist, but having air assist come with the machine is a very big deal. Now, building off of that feature, I wanted to talk about cutting. So since it's a 22-watt laser and you have air assist, I was able to cut through this 1/2-inch sheet of plywood one pass, no problem, again, in half the time than I would with, say, a 10-watt laser. Speaking of cutting, something that I highly recommend that you get is one of these honeycomb bases, especially if you plan on doing a lot of cutting, not just engraving. Not only do these bases allow the laser to go all the way through the piece, but it allows for ventilation underneath, so that way you have less of a chance of scorching or burning the project from underneath. Now, the MECPOW X5 does not come with this, but none of the lasers come with the honeycomb base. Oh, but if you do end up getting one of these honeycomb bases, one of the things that I really loved about this particular honeycomb base is that it comes with these little hold down shoes, and this is very helpful with making sure that your workpiece doesn't float around or get blown away or moved in any way, shape, or form during the etching or the engraving. Now, again, I did give this a light sanding, but the possibilities to come with a project like this are just, it's endless, and it's only limited by your imagination. I could do so many things. I could go ahead and throw a finish on this, but then I could also fill these cavities with epoxy and color this, and just, it would look amazing. And you could have a lot of fun with a simple project like this. But speaking of engraving and making a business or doing fun projects, now, I don't know if you remember, I did this project, this simple Fender guitar body, in a previous video, and I just set this aside and I had no idea what I was going to do with it. But then when this project came up, I thought, wouldn't it be cool to throw a design on this? Also, a good tip, sometimes I like to, in the wasteboard, will make an outline of my project, especially if it's something that has contours like this. That way I know exactly where to place it. If I'm being completely honest, I just wanted to do this, like, okay, I had this old guitar body laying around, let's do something cool. I'll put a cool image on it and engrave something cool on it, but I was not expecting this. I wish you could feel the texture, because since this is just cheap pine and it's such a soft wood, all the soft parts got ingrained real deep, like I'm talking like over a 1/16 of an inch, but the wood grain, the tougher part, didn't get engraved, so there's this really cool texture going on that was quite unexpected, but just a really fun, happy little accident. But again, the reason why I love doing videos like this is to get the inspiration flowing of what could I do with a machine like this, and I'm kind of thinking that I need to go into the guitar body making and selling business right now. Speaking of guitar bodies, I want to talk about one of the features that I was probably most excited about with this particular machine was the size of the work area. 600 millimeters by 600 millimeters. So that's about 23 and 5/8 by 23 and 5/8. Again, at the same price point with a standard laser, you're usually only getting 400 millimeters by 400 millimeters, which is about 15 3/4 by 15 3/4 inches. Not only could I fit a whole guitar body on here, no problem, I could fit 2 guitar bodies on this work surface, no problem. So this makes it great for if I want to make templates for guitar making, or if I wanted to etch 2 guitars at the same time. But I couldn't believe that I was able to get so much work area out of one machine for this price point. Very, very impressive and very exciting. Speaking of materials, obviously you can etch metal with this, but I wanted to do something fun, so I bought these great aluminum anodized business cards, and these weren't expensive. I'll leave a link down below if you're interested in these, but how great would it be to either make custom business cards for other people or custom business cards for yourself? But I made these business cards for my wife. She is a self-published author. She is absolutely brilliant, by the way. And I thought it would be great to make her some really cool different business cards, or even make her some really cool different bookmarkers. So then we thought, hey, let's take that idea a step further, and maybe for our top tier patrons, let's make them some really cool personalized cards for being awesome top tier patrons. Speaking of top tier patrons, we have a new top tier patron, and you're not gonna believe who it is. Come here. You guys remember Rick Null from all my fire feature videos? Well, not only has he been a big supporter in the past, now he is even further supporting the channel by becoming our next top tier patron, Rick Null from EasyFirePits.com. So Rick, thank you so much for not only your support in the past, but your continued support. I can't begin to thank you enough. So Rick and the rest of my top tier patrons, make sure to look out for these in the mail. And of course, thank you to the rest of my awesome patrons. But when we're talking about different materials to use, acrylics. I've etched acrylics in the past, but I've never been able to cut through acrylics in the past with small 10-watt lasers. So now that I had a 22-watt laser, I thought I'd try my hand at cutting some acrylics. Now, you can't unfortunately cut through transparent acrylic with a diode laser. As long as the acrylic is opaque, that's where it really shines. But I would like to take this opportunity to give my friend a shout out. This is Patrick Gensel. He has an awesome Instagram channel. Please go check him out. A lot of the things I've learned about lasers, I've actually learned from him, but one of the things I enjoy most about him is his very dry sense of humor. He has a similar sense of humor like John from Lincoln Street, where it just, his sense of humor will come from out of nowhere and slap you from the left or the right, and you won't even see it coming. But a very informative Instagram channel and a very entertaining Instagram channel, so please go check him out, and please don't subscribe to my channel today, subscribe to his. But since this is a concrete channel, we needed to see if we could etch some concrete. So I happen to have this slab of concrete, threw it on my big ass workspace, hit start, and let's see what happens. That is so cool! That turned out way cooler than I thought I was going to. And hell yes, this will etch some concrete. But oh my god, this would pop if I put some epoxy on this or something like that, and I don't have any time. I don't have any time. There it is, the MECPOW X5 22-watt diode laser for your consideration. I highly enjoyed this machine. I'm going to have this machine for a very long time. I had so many projects that I wanted to try out for this video, but there's, again, just not enough time, and I could go on forever doing a video like this, but I tried to keep it simple for you guys. Oh, and discount code. So if you're interested in this machine, you're going to go to the non-commission based link down below, and then you're going to use discount code MB MECPOW 22 for 10% off. But if you wanted to kick it up a notch and you're interested in their X5 Pro, which is a 33 watt laser, again, go to the link below and then use discount code MBMECXPRO for 5% off. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you to MECPOW for giving me this great opportunity, and I will see you guys in the next video.